What is up, everybody? Welcome back to The Bald and the Bearded. I am Robbie, joined along
Jacob. Not French this week.
You're not French? Okay,
No.
he reverted back to his American ways. It's okay. You can be who you want to be on this show, so, it's 2020. So, Jacob, or Jakob, or whatever you want to be called, what have you been playing lately? Or watching, whatever,
Well, I dove back into Shadow of War because I have never beaten it until recently.
Okay.
So
That is a game that I have dove into as well. Not this, obviously, not recently, but I got pretty far in yet to beat it, just like countless other games that I have. You walked in on me playing a game that I beat like 18 times. It's a habit. It's like one of those, like cigarettes. I can't kick it. So, you liking Shadow of War? I know it's an older game, but it's still a good one.
Oh yeah, I didn't really. Before I played, I didn't really understand what the game would end. I figured it would just be over once you captured all the fortresses.
Right.
But there's still more story to it after you complete all those. So that basically just opens up the ending for you.
Right, and there's also all the different DLCs and everything like that.
Which I'm working on those now, but it's kind of hard once I beat this game to get back into those on a low level,
Yeah, I can understand that. So any TV shows or movies you watched recently that you want to talk a bit about?
Probably late on this, but I watched the Terminator: The Dark Fate yesterday.
Well, I'm actually even later than you because I still have not watched it. It's one of those things where I missed not that one that came out in 2019, but there was one previous to that I did not watch. So I have like the first 3 Terminator movies downloaded to watch because I want to watch them, be fresh on it, and then watch it. Does it tie into any of the previous Terminator movies?
It doesn't really reflect on the last one with Khaleesi in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really go back on that one at all. It mainly just goes back to like the original story, Sarah Connors, John Connors.
Right.
And it basically just picks up. It seems like it picks up like years and years later after like the young John Connors and Arnold beat the little Gooey Cop Guy with
the Gooey Cop Guy.
Spoon hands is what I like to call him.
I think we might have just found our name, our episode, the name episode.
Spoon hands.
No, Gooey Cop Guy. Now, it's a movie I want to watch. I've always thought the Terminator movies were awesome. I remember going to Skateland, wink wink for all the oldies in the Milton, Pace, Pensacola, J area. Skateland was the place to go where you had your birthdays and everything like that, and they had the dopest Ninja Turtle arcade game and the Terminator arcade game. So I played the crap out of those. But it's such a good franchise, and that is something that I do want to get into and watch. What I've watched this week, and my friends have been telling me to get into it, it's actually a Netflix original reality TV show. It is called The Circle. What it is a social media reality TV show, which is kind of something we haven't seen before, which kudos to Netflix for coming out with something like that. So, you have, I think it's 6 to 8 people, you have 8 people. They have no interaction with each other at all. They do not see each other. The only interaction that they have is through a social media program called Circle. So you're able to update your post or your wall, or kind of like send a tweet or whatever. It's essentially like that, but you can only update it at certain times. So when you first get into the Circle, you see them having to set up their profile. Like, okay, let me pick my first picture. And what's cool about this is you can go in and be you, or you can go in and be whoever you want to be. There's catfishes on there. Like, there's this dude, he's using pictures, his girlfriend's pictures as his pictures on the Circle and pretending to be Rebecca. And like, he is going into uncharted territories because the girls will put him in a group chat and be talking about the guys. He's like, "Oh, I've never been in a group text with girls talking about guys before." Like, so, like, it's super cool, and you can't help but fall in love with some of the characters, but you can't also not hate some of the other characters. Like, there's a swimsuit model. There is a He calls himself a professional basketball player, but he's only played professionally in like Spain and Europe. That's not really professional to me, but it is technically. So he's on there, and then you just have, you know, a bunch of random people, and like I said, you can't help but fall in love with them. They're super cool characters, and the idea is you're going to be the top ranked person. So at the end of each episode, they'll go and you'll vote. You'll kind of remember when MySpace made you rank your friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what they do. So you think, okay, this guy, he's my number one. He's been super cool. Well, the top 2 people become the influencers, and the influencers block the person that they don't like, or you know, somebody that's a challenge to them or whatever. So the idea is to survive, and you get $100,000 at the end of the show. Circle is super cool. Shout out to Netflix for coming out with something super cool and interesting. If you have not watched The Circle, I would say jump into it because it is a good one. So we're actually going to go ahead and jump in and talk about you know, what we have to talk about this week. Something near and dear to my heart, which is Digimon. I was a Pokemon and a Digimon fan. I loved both franchises, but Digimon is actually coming out with a new, old TV show. They're bringing back... Did you ever watch Digimon growing up?
Not too much. I was a Pokemon, a Yu-Gi-Oh person, so that had more of my attention.
And I understand that, but luckily I had enough time to where I could watch and play Pokemon, watch and play Digimon, watch and play Yu-Gi-Oh! So I got into all of them. Digimon was definitely my favorite TV show. I did feel like Pokemon was super campy. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was super cool when it came out, but like I was hardcore Digimon fan. They are bringing back the original cast like Tai, so you'll see Agumon. I mean all the old school, like the very first group of people that you saw ever with Digimon are coming back in the new series, which is something that I'm super excited for because people always said Digimon was like the great value version of Pokemon because you just get animals and you throw guns on them, which is essentially, yeah, it's kind of how it is, but like it's a super cool show. Like you get to see the Digimon. They actually it's not evolve, it's called Digivolve. I know they cool play on words there, but like you get to see, and they don't stay, you know, evolved like Pokemon. They can go back and revert to their... So it'll be...
Power up, I guess.
Right. It'll be kind of cool to see what they bring in because all the different iterations of Digimon, there's been armored Digimon where like they have an egg, and like each egg they can transform into different types, and there's also been, I think it was the 3rd season of Digimon where they had the little cards, which was kind of like a Yu-Gi-Oh-ish feel where you could slide the card in there and like you can make your Digimon fly if it had the wing, or you can give it a power. So with all these different seasons and all these different events and stuff happening in the Digi world, I'm kind of excited to see where they go with the new old series that's going to be coming out. So I'm excited. I know you don't have a lot to say on Digimon, but do you have anything that you want to add, or you think of anything?
No. I can't really remember any of it because I looked at it and it's like it came out in 2000, so like I was
pretty
young.
You were a wee fella back then.
Because that's probably before I even started really grade school. So.
Right. Yeah, I know I'm older than you, Jacob. You don't have to keep rubbing it in. So with that, we'll go ahead and move on to our next topic that is really disgusting. Yes, and I mean when Holly puts up the picture of what we're about to talk about, it will disturb you on not just one level, but many, many levels. People are coming out. Certain people are coming out with a trend in 2020 where on their nails, ladies go, they get their nails did and everything like that. They looking good, everything's fresh. Well, select people are coming out with hands and feet on their hands and feet.
I don't know where people think this is okay.
No, when you see the picture, you will shiver because it is disgusting. So on their nails, the nail bed that they'll paint it, but they'll also have little tiny hands coming out of their fingernails and little tiny feet coming out of their toenail. It is disgusting. What is wrong with people?
It makes me think of some movie or cartoon I've seen before. You might remember seeing it, but not what it's from. But like they're like hallucinating or something.
Right, and they
like
see hands coming
out
of their
fingers.
Yeah, like
it's like a bad trip or something.
Right. If you ever come into where I work, or if I see you on the street, I am not shaking your hands because my job I do have to shake.
Be sure to hand them your check or your money with your little baby hands.
Right. I mean, I will have to say I'm sorry. I cannot help you because I would literally you drop your check. You'd have to drop your ID, and I will have like clamps that I'll pick your stuff up with and move it over here because I ain't getting close to you with those little monster hands and feet. But I guess that's the world we live in. People are trying to be different. That's not a good different. What you doing, honey? That's not. No, I don't think so.
Makes me think of something you'd see on that cartoon that I used to watch when I was little. Like the dude that held his eyeballs above his head and everything.
Oh, All Real Monsters. Yeah. You belong on that show if you walking around with hands and feet on your hands and feet. No, thank you. Pass. If this was Tinder, we'd be swiping left. But yeah, I think it's swipe left, or is it swipe right? I don't know. I was never really a Tinderella, but it is what it is. It's disgusting. Please don't do it.
Just make it stop.
Just let's let it be the first month of 2020 trend, and let's just move on. We got February coming up.
Let's just stick to memes, people.
Yeah, new year, new us. Don't bring the baby hands and the baby feet back, please, God, for the love of God, no. So, Obi-Wan. I know when I sent you the text, it said 1-1. I was hoping you understood.
I deciphered, yeah.
Yes, I don't know why I corrected it to 1-1, but Obi-Wan is gonna be delayed. They are having to rewrite the script. I know kind of last week we did talk about games being delayed for different things like that. I am also okay with movies and TV shows being delayed like this because it is letting... They noticed something in the script was not good. Like, whether it's Ewan McGregor or whoever, they're like, this is not good. We need to work and figure out what is going on. So I am okay with this. Obviously, I want this content as soon as it can get to me. I will devour it because Obi-Wan is, Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's Obi-Wan. Like, he is.
And they're using the original Obi-Wan too, so.
Right.
Can't get much better than that.
It is definitely going to be an interesting show. I cannot wait to watch it. I hope the rewrites make it better because clearly we want a good product. Like, if they're going to release stuff like this, like The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian was amazing. It was beautifully done. It was one of my favorite things Star Wars has done in a long time. So I'm excited for that. I'm hoping that they can continue making these movies like Obi Wan Kenobi, Knights of the Old Republic, all these different things. Be able to introduce more of the Star Wars universe to us on Disney Plus, because Disney Plus is rocking it. They are rocking it hard. They are bringing it. So what are your thoughts on the rewrites? I know I just kind of went on a tangent.
I mean, I'm just curious to why they're rewriting. I mean, I would assume it may be conflicted with another part of the franchise, or maybe it didn't coincide with the story or something, right. Or, it'd be interesting to know.
It could just be hot garbage. First script could be garbage.
Yeah.
So it would be cool to kind of know why they went away from it and kind of figure out, what
Because it would help us, give us kind of idea of how far back they're at.
Right.
Right. And
Are
how
we
long
just,
it might be.
And you never know. It could just be like this scene that they need to do a rewrite for. Because I didn't see where it said that they were doing a whole rewrite for the entire movie. But you have seen, like if you watch movies that made me or us or whatever it's called, you see that a lot of times these movies go through 3 or 4 rewrites before. And yes, it may delay it a little bit, but I would prefer a finished product. Kind of get a better understanding of why it was delayed, but like I said, I prefer getting...
Let's not have another season finale of Game of Thrones, please.
Right, like, whatever it takes to not have us sit through, what was it, 6 seasons? Was it 6 seasons, or 8 seasons, Game of Thrones?
I think it was 8, wasn't it?
Whatever it was, do not make us sit through all that just to give us a big flaming turd at the end of a show. We do not appreciate that. I know there's still a lot of salty Game of Thrones fans that...
Trevor still never even watched the last episode, so... Trevor's his brother, by the way.
Yes, Trevor. We've been trying to get him on.
He said, I'll just avoid the last episode so I don't have to be disappointed.
Well, one day, Trevor, you're going to have to watch it and kind of deal with it.
I told him what happened.
But unless you got anything else to say, I kind of forgot to flip the screen, so I never know when the thing's going to go off. And
I see it in the TV, though.
Hopefully it's still recording, though. I don't see the red dot. So we're going to go ahead and cut this. I don't know how long that's going to be, but we'll go from there because I'd hate to have to redo a lot of this podcast. So anything you want to add?
I'm good.
Jacob is good. I, too, am good. Thank you guys for sticking around with us. This has been another awesome episode of The Bald and the Bearded. Be sure to go to our Facebook page, our Instagram. If you ever want us to answer any questions or anything like that, please let us know. We will do research. If it's something that we can talk about on that episode, we will. We might have to move it to a later episode if we have not watched it or read it or played it or whatever. So please, give us feedback. If you want to see us do something different or there's something that you guys think we can improve on.
Do you want to see Robbie eat a Carolina Reaper?
Don't do that, please, God. No. God, no. But yeah, let us know what we can do better. We want to bring you guys the best content. But thank you for sticking around. This has been Robbie.
And Jacob.
Y'all have an amazing